Hello and welcome back to Artful. Today we're going to be having another look at watercolours. So I'm going to pass you over to Jamie and he's going to show you how to perfectly paint a pinecone.
Right, hello there. So what we're going to do today is paint a pinecone. And I have taken a photo of the pinecone that is at the bottom of my screen on the right, and I've created a template for you. So you can copy that onto your watercolour paper and you can follow this along with me. What I'm doing at the minute is I am mixing up a very light wash. You can see that I'm daubing it off as much as possible. So I'm observing the photo that I've got as a reference image, and I'm just making sure that the lightest possible tones are, I can stack on top of this. Now I've got a base tone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap brushes. I'm going to go for a slightly finer one. I've opted for the smallest one in your set, and I'm going to begin to add in some darker tones. And that's literally the game with this. You can see to the right on the pad where I'm swatching up stuff, I'm just picking out different tones within it, and I'm observing the photo and just adding them in. And the beauty about watercolour is that you can just keep stacking it and layering that, and over time it dries and you get some really nice mottled effects in areas where others are quite flat, and actually the paper sometimes helps you a bit. So where it does start to crease almost, it drags the water in a way which is sometimes can lead to some nice results. So what I'm doing, I'm using the finest brush in the set and I'm just mixing up different tones. I've switched, and you can switch between because you'll find that certain areas you want to really get in with the detail, whereas others you can put sort of larger areas of flat colour down. Just pick out lots of different colours. So the way that you make this look realistic is by layering up different shades. I mean, it doesn't work if you try and put in, all of the same colour from your half pans. If you mix them, you're going to get a lot more variety. You can see on the right that I'm swatching up loads of different tones. So it's just adding to the lighter areas, and there'll be different planes of light areas at certain points. So you can see here that I'm just adding in a much darker brown on top of that, and that's because I realised after looking back at the photo that it needed a much darker area, and it is just a case of building it up. And you get a lot of dexterity with the point on your rounded brushes, so you can go really fine, but also you can do quite large areas just by flattening the pressure. So if you push down more, you'll splay it slightly. So here I'm going in with a fine point just to show you what I'm talking about. Go around the edge, and the beauty with watercolour is for the most part that with a piece of tissue you can kind of remove a lot of the darker tones that you put down if you're not happy with them. And you can see as well under my hand at the minute there is a big blob of water, and that's kind of how you leave certain areas, and you do have the ability, like I'm saying with the tissue, to kind of pull a lot of that off at any point really. So it's quite nice as well here to let it pool, so you can push the water around, and that's you can achieve that just by putting more water on your brush, and it will end up drying a lot fainter, so this won't dry super dark, but it just means that you can push it around a bit. And here's me using that tissue technique. So all you need to do really is just touch the tissue to the paper, and it will absorb it without you having to press down too much. You can see just below where my hand is now, where I'm picking up some of the details of the cone, you can see how the tones start to layer up. The thing with pine cones, I went through a period of just painting pine cones for some weird reason. I was telling everyone at work that they are very easy to make look good without having that much skill. This was something that I found, it almost tricks your eye by being quite a complicated shape, but actually you can be quite basic with the way that you put down the paint. It ends up looking quite impressive. So here is the finished piece. You will see that there is lots of variety in colour there, and I hope that you enjoyed that as much as I did, because it is something that's really easy to get into. And yes, get the template from the blog. There'll be a link at the bottom of this YouTube video, and also if you're looking on the website, then it'll be there.
Painting a pinecone is one of the most perfect ways you can test out your new watercolours. You get to have a go at those sweeping washes, adding finer detail, applying colour and experimenting with your contrasts and tones. So let us know in the comments down below how you got on with your pine cones, or if there's any other techniques or processes that you'd like us to try. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see our other tutorials, and why not visit artful.co.uk. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon.